Everything straight, everything in motion. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know who that is. Y'all should know who this is. Hear me? This is Worst Take. We're back. Another episode, man. We're joined with a special guest today. A good friend of ours, you know what I'm saying? MSG Network's own Emmy Award winner, by the way, Mr. Jeff Johnson.
What up? What up? What up? What's going on, F? What's up, Manny? What's going on?
Chilling,
One of
man.
my favorite people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nah, that's a fact. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know you were such an avid Knicks fan
Oh
until
yeah.
this year. You know what I'm saying? Like I started seeing it like for a long time. I thought like the only like super Knicks fan on the timeline was Kaz and Mills.
Oh yeah.
And then like this out of nowhere, I'm like I seen you on TV. I think it was like what was it, game 5 or something like that?
Game four in Philly.
Bro, I'm watching TV. I'm seeing a dude on his phone going crazy. I'm like, hold on. I had to pause. I was like, is that Jeff? It's 100% Jeff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I be talking about him. I'm not one of those that just came out of the woodwork when they was good. You know what I mean? I've been talking about him for years, but like you see a lot more in what I'm saying now, just because like it's like them versus NBA Twitter, man. And I love those odds because everybody be lying on NBA Twitter, so it's like, yo, why not tell some truth for the change?
Someone has to do it, so why not you? I
Right.
wouldn't want it to be anybody else. But I'm not even gonna hold you. What Jeff is doing with some of his vlogs and his content creation, fam. The splice that you did, where it's the game footage plus your footage together
Yeah, that
with
was
those
just
free throws,
divine timing, brother. Divine time.
yo.
Like it just that's when all production elements from your phone to a national broadcast just hit at the same time. Like I couldn't even time that way if I tried, bro.
Nice. That's like the moon and the sun aligning for an eclipse. It's like
Word. It's like once every 50 years it happens. Word. So yeah, man. And shout out to Manny too. He was in my vlog, my WrestleMania vlog. First time ever mimosa shots. So if you ever
Yo,
heard people talk about mimosa shots, you like, they be taking mimosa shots, you know where you saw it first. Like we did it on the spot too. And them shits kind
yeah,
of hit. I ain't gonna hold you.
yeah.
listen,
The bartender was like, "Oh yeah, you can't take mimosa shots alone." I was like, "You don't got to tell me
Say
twice."
less.
what is a mimosa shot? What are we talking about here? Is it
That
literally
was
I think just a shot of mimosa?
Yeah, so she was making a mimosa for somebody else, and I didn't want a whole mimosa, but I was like, oh, I'm interested. I would, you know, I would be like, yo, can I get a taste or can I get a chip? That's me. That's definitely me. I'm like, yo, I just want to see what it's like. So I was like, yo, would you mind pouring it into a shot glass? I just want to take a shot. And she looked at me like this nigga. But fuck it. But she was like, it was so bold. She was like, yo, fuck, I'm gonna do it. And then she saw me talking to Benny, and she was like, she told him, like, yo, you can't take it alone. You gotta take it with him. And I'm like, yo, man, we're gonna do this. Let's see what's the worst that can happen. If it's ass, I ain't pay for it, right? So she made them and drank them, and I was like, oh man, this could go crazy. The only thing with mimosas though is like, if you're gonna take mimosa shots, like for real, you might as well get the mimosa. You know what I'm saying? Like you
yeah,
might as
yeah.
well get the mimosa. But if you just want a little something, that's like perfect.
Yeah, especially because I was already like 6 drinks in by that time, so I ain't need a whole mimosa. I was a mimosa shot was definitely perfect at that time because I'm like, yo, a couple more drinks, and it would have been me stumbling to mania. I would have had to drink like a C4.
Bro, that was like a wedding champagne toast with
Exactly.
the mimosa. That's like the wedding champagne toast. You take a
Yeah,
little bit and you go on with your day.
No,
exactly. Especially on the walk off.
Word.
every story that I hear of that brunch, like it's just like, yo, the catfish was great, the mimosas was good, everybody was fine. But I'm like, damn, I missed it. I'm
Yeah,
over here, rats. Like I'm over here, like damn.
He said rats.
Jeff was the one
Dang,
that put me
nabbit.
onto the catfish, bro. He was just sitting there, and I'm like, he's like nitpicking at some food because this was already like after all like the main eating pause
Right.
happened. So I saw Jeff, he had a small little plate, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then he's like, nah, this catfish is crazy. So it was me and oh my god, it was me, Jeff,
Sean, shouts to Sean.
yeah, and Sean. So we sit in there, and then we're like, all right, we gotta try the catfish just to see. We try a piece, and I'm like, yo, fam, nah. So Jeff gets all the credit for spreading the catfish, not propaganda, but you know the
Yeah, just
goodness of the
promoting.
catfish.
Hey man, I
Yeah,
support business. When they say support business, I do it wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Sean too. That's my guy. That's my guy from school.
yeah, nah. I didn't even know that you guys knew each other.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I knew Sean
bro.
from Twitter and everything like that. And he was
The
like, "Yeah,
world
I've
is
known him
that
since high
small.
school." I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The world is such a small place, because I literally like I didn't know Sean until like before we started like the show.
Mm.
He was like, "Yo, I listen to the show. I mess with y'all. You feel me? Y'all got a good vibe." And I bumped into him like mad, like random places. Like this was years ago. This is when me and my boy Coach, shouts to Cody, we used to go to La Marina every weekend. This is when La
Mm.
Marina was open. So we in La Marina. I'm over here with like a jug of rum punch in one hand and a drink. I'm just vibing. And Sean pulls up. He's like, "Yo, what's good?" I'm like, "Yo, what you doing here?" And then years later, you're like, "Yeah, that's my man from school." I'm like, well,
oh,
seriously, for real?
nah, it's definitely a
Super
small
small
world.
world.
I'm
Super
playing
small world.
pickup ball one Sunday. I see Jeff there too. I'm like, Jeff, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I know Della too. I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
world is small, and
Yeah.
it's dope to have dope people in your life, like excellent people in your life that are those connectors, you know, and introduce you to even more people. So
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's a fact, man. Before we start talking about the hoops, I just wanted to say one more last thing about the brunch, because as much as we are sports and hoops fans, we're wrestling fans as well, right? So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts and your opinion on this first ever like podcast brunch, and how important it is kind of for, I guess, us as a culture or a unit moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So here's what I'll say. First of all, shout out to Andreas for the vision. He's been working hard to give black folk a spot to do some cultural shit on during those wrestling weekends. And I think it's actually dope to inject our type of vibe into a weekend that for years wasn't really culture based as what we know of culture. Like it's wrestling culture. So you'll get people who are independent wrestling fans, WWE fans, all together in one spot. If you love wrestling, WrestleMania is your mecca. But we inject our culture, hip hop culture, black culture, whatever you want to call it. We inject it into these weekends and bring our type of events. So to have a brunch, a Sunday brunch during WrestleMania weekend, it just don't sound like it mix. But
Yeah.
it's like opposites attracted, and the cool thing about it is it's not so opposite anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing that infusion and the change in WWE to where, especially in WWE, to where those type of elements, those type of people from multiple backgrounds are the norm and not like exotic,
Right.
right? So to have a event where you could just wind down, chill out, vibe with everybody else who's on the same wavelength and type of time you on, whether they're in media or just fans, and you connect on a fan level, you connect on a media level, multiple levels, and it reminds me of New York. Like there would be a poppin' something, a party on Saturday, and then I'm gonna see you at brunch on Sunday. I'll just see you out all weekend. If you
Yep.
from New York, if you're not from New York, I'll paint the picture where you leave your house Saturday at 12, you're not coming back until Sunday at 3 a.m. Right? Like, and it just happens. I can't explain to you how it happens. You go to the day event, and then the intermission is where you go to get some food or you chill at somebody's crib and you just power up for the nighttime event. And
Yep.
then there's a rooftop. Somebody got a rooftop party that you mob to. And then before you know it, you home at 2 o'clock. So it's just that type of energy to where good people are gonna vibe in different ways and vibe in the ways that we're accustomed to. I think that's important to bring to those type of events as more black wrestling fans, people of color wrestling fans support these events. We bring our flavor to it.
Yeah. And listen, Andreas, the way he just set the first one, listen, that I'm already waiting for the next one. Once I get that second email,
Yeah,
if you got to pull up for sure for the next one. It don't even matter what we're doing.
I'm
I'm just, pack the Altima and
And
we're
bro, it's in
moving.
Vegas. It's in his backyard. He don't even
Yeah.
got to get on a plane. Oh, he outside the whole weekend. I
Yeah.
already know.
Nah.
I already know. I say it for him. He outside the whole weekend. He at his crib. He at the crib for WrestleMania next year.
yo,
I'm worried for myself. Like I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo, I can't even be out there the whole week. I can't do that to myself.
yo,
I
it's
know
gonna.
I'm gonna put my tickets on the table. Like, yo, I'm putting everything on red.
I'm trading in these floor seats at WrestleMania for $500 worth of poker chips.
Or hit me.
I'm on 20. I'm like hit.
That nasty.
Yeah, man. Yo, Andreas, if you ever see this, I will be at the next one. I promise. Next year, WrestleMania in Vegas, we will be there. Please make sure the catfish is there as well. I missed the catfish the first time. I will not miss the catfish the second time. That's
He's gonna fly it in from that spot in Philly.
yeah, catfish freshly flown in from Philadelphia.
Word. Get them to cater. Real talk.
Yo, well, let's talk who's man. First round just finished officially like an hour or two ago with the Cavs and the Magic. I ain't gonna hold you now. I'll say this: Cavs and Magic. Game 7 was the first game I saw. Like, I'll be real. I'll be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because there was so many other like good games. Like, you feel me? Cavs and Magic. Honestly, I was like that's like the stepchild of the group. I'm over here looking at Philly and New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh, like, oh, what we got here? That's like it's like going to like a buffet. You're like, all right, we got a little bit of this, you got a little bit of that. And then you see Cavs Magic over here. That's like the potato salad with the raisins. You like, I'm gonna stay away from this. But this right here, this catfish, Knicks and Philly, I'm all in. You know what I'm saying? And you was all in too. You was out there. We seen the footages. You know, I seen you on TV. So I need you to explain that vibe. What was the arena? And you were away. You were in Philly. So what was the vibe like for Knicks Philly game 4?
So I put it to you like this. I saw somebody, shout out to, I shared him on my story. I can't remember the brother's name. Apologies. But he had made a reel where he said, Knicks fans are the closest thing to soccer / world football fans that you're going to get in the NBA because of the way that they travel and how loud they are and the chants that they do and the energy that they bring to an away arena. And I could tell you, being in that arena, I felt like I was at the World Cup. So from the Knicks side was where their visitors bench was and everything to the right of it. So if you think about sections, their section was 124 and then it restarts. So it's like 124, then 101 to like 105 where you get to the middle. You looked up and you just saw a sea of blue and orange. And in Philly, it's a little bit difficult to determine who's Knicks fans versus who's Sixers fans because the blues are a little similar. So it's like you got to squint and look for the red versus the orange. But you could just tell who were the New York fans versus who was the Philly fans. Because I felt like these wasn't just Knicks fans. These was New Yorkers too. Because the way they was going crazy in the stands, I thought I was in the Garden. I thought I was in Dykeman. I thought I was, you know what I mean? I thought I was at like the Rucker. Like that's the type of energy that they brought. MVP chants for Brunson, booing Embiid at the line, loud boos. And whatever you heard on TV wasn't as loud as it was in the arena. And I watched it back. When I got home, I watched it back. Dog, it was loud on TV. Like it was loud on TV. So I could only imagine what people thought when they said, well, I wonder how it was in the building. I knew it was loud in the building. The way it came off on TV, I'm like, yo, that almost captured it. But yeah, man, like we was in there going crazy. I'm talking about you could tell the Sixers fans was looking around like, the hell is this? The hell is this, you know? And we travel well usually for Sixers games, but with the stakes and with everything on the line, it was a completely different animal. So yeah, man, everything from cheering throughout the game, living and dying with every shot, then after the game, taking over the Wells Fargo's lobby, taking over outside. I heard they put a Starks jersey on the Wilt Chamberlain statue, bro. Like, yo, it was different. Like, yo, that's why I said on Twitter afterwards, they calling us the January Sixers because they had to keep us out. We were an invading force that they could not allow to take the city over again, and they had to make a concerted effort. That's the type of energy, and I feel comfortable saying no other fan base can do it like Knicks fans. That's why you hear the delusional talk, because that's all they have left. That's all they have left is to call us something. Bro, I've been on Twitter since the start of Twitter. Do you know how many NBA players I've seen photoshopped into Lakers jerseys? But the Knicks fans are the ones that are delusional. Or how about these fans that gentrified the Warrior fan base? I don't know who's from Oakland. I don't know who's from the Bay Area. But they all day ones. They don't even know who Baron Davis is. If I say Andre Kirilenko, they don't know what I'm talking about. Right? But
They weren't
yeah,
there for the
y'all got to
Ellis
live and
games.
die and talk like y'all are. A lot of them bandwagoners get to talk like they're James Naismith or something, right? But the Knicks fans are delusional, right? Like, it's just funny. The fan is short for fanatic. And every fan base and every sports team of every sport on the globe has delusional fans. But they can only say that about the Knicks fans now because at this moment, because we live in the present, right? At this moment, you can it's talk about ball or don't talk about anything else at all.
Yeah. Now, so were you always gonna go to that game, that first game in Philly, or was it something that, because I feel like every New Yorker had that like light bulb moment where I looked at the price of the tickets and I'm like, should I just take this drive to Philly right now? Should I just do this?
Bro, go ahead, Ev.
No, I was saying, how much were the tickets?
So the walk-in price to go to the Garden, and that's to sit in the nosebleeds. The cheapest ticket was starting at like almost $500. Where I looked at the Wells Fargo tickets just to take a little gander. It was like $98 to sit in the 200s. And then like if you wanted to sit in the 100s, it was almost $200. It wasn't even 200. So I saw a couple good seats over there.
Facts. Think about it like this, F. If I offered you a package, round trip travel to Philadelphia, sit in the 100 section, including travel, and I'm talking about round trip travel, including Ubers and Amtrak and food, and said you could get all of that for $500 for one day, for a day trip.
Yeah, I'm locked in. And I think that's the difference. And it's funny what I said. All they got is personal attacks, and they can't talk about basketball anymore. Now New Yorkers are coastal elites. We're all rich here, and that's why we can't. The hardworking Philadelphians can't afford those prices, but you New Yorkers who live in boxes in Manhattan will come and splurge on tickets there. And I'm like, no. It's just a little different. The type of prices that we've dealt with here for our whole lives, we understand when we're getting swindled, and we also understand when it's a deal when you're like, yo, I'm going to go get that. I'm going to go get that because we've already budgeted everything out. And they say, that's you can't beat that. You step out your house in the summer, and you've already spent $100. So you tell me for $400 more, I get round trip. You know that if you know, like the minute you breathe the oxygen in the summer, that's a dub. That's a dub per 20 minutes, right? But I think for me, Manny, the light bulb moment was Game 3 when Embiid was pulling at Mitch's legs. They didn't call the flagrant foul. They didn't kick him out the game when he was just going crazy. Because I had said after Game 2, when they coughed up that Game 2, when the Sixers coughed up that Game 2, I said, yo, they broke Embiid. That man was at his locker, couldn't even look up, crying, talking about, or looking like he was crying, talking about, we the better team, we gonna win this series, we gonna do this, whining. And then that first minute, he put the Draymond mixtape on and was just going crazy. I was like, yo, they broke him. And then the fact that the building knew he was out of there and they kept him in and he went crazy, that pissed me off. I was like, all right, we all see what this is. Wait, we got one more game? All right, cool. And then I put my word on it. I was hyped. I was talking in a space. And I put my word. I said, you know what? I'm out there. Fuck it, I'm out there. And I was like, damn. I put it out. Yo, I put it out there. So let me see if I can make it happen. Then I saw, wait, it's Sunday at 1 o'clock. Sunday at 1 o'clock. This game is going to be over by 4 the latest. We're 90 minutes away. Yeah.
We're 90 minutes away. That's a day trip. I don't got to take no hotel. I don't got to fly. I don't got to do nothing like that. And I started looking at the prices. I was like,
7 o'clock, I'm back in the crib.
I was exactly that time. Exactly that time. And the only reason I wasn't, I was a little later than that. And that was because I missed my train like at the buzzer and had to wait for another one. I think I got to the city at 7 and got in the house by like 7:45. And I left at what? I left at like 9.
Like,
door to door, I was at Philly in 2 hours. Door to door, bro. Like you can't for us on the East Coast where every state, like we have like 6 or 7 or 8 states within a 4-hour radius, but probably even more if I sit and think about it. It's normal for us to make those trips. So yeah, once I saw that and once the game thing happened, I was like, nah, we gotta take they shit over. I was like, yo, we gotta take they shit over. But I was more shocked that so many other people had the same idea.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm thinking, yo, it's going to be like John Cena and ECW One Night Stand, right? Like, I was ready to have the jorts on and the hat and bring a title with the Knicks spinner on it and just walk in like this. But I was among friends.
Yeah, you saw 100 other people doing the same thing, and then you looked around, you're like, wait a minute.
I'm going to tell you how crazy it was. I get home, I start checking IG, I start checking everything. Why I seen mad people I knew was at the game, and I didn't even run into them. It was like the Barclays, bro. I see my homegirl posted. I see my guy. I don't know if y'all know my guy Renze and my guy Ray. Like y'all definitely seen them on social if you don't know them personally.
Yeah.
Like I seen these dudes there. I seen my man's hit me. Yo, I was there too. I was like, damn, we all had the same idea. We all mobbed from different methods and was all in the building repping together. That like we was in New York. It's crazy, bro.
You know, Knicks fans was definitely like on some Braveheart shit. Like definitely in Wells Fargo, like, whew.
Oh yeah, we was at war, bro. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Like it felt like you know, like in high school when you would go to the other school. Like if you went to support whatever team you like, whatever sport, and you went to the other school, you was like, oh, this is hostile. Yeah. This is a hostile environment. Like whatever. It didn't even feel like that, bro. It felt like. Yeah, it felt like a Knicks game at the Barclays Center. If you've ever been or if you've ever seen it on TV, it felt exactly like that. This ain't our house, but we making it our house.
Yeah.
Damn.
If only the next series could be like that, though. Like,
oh no,
I ain't going to fucking Indiana.
It might be slow. Indiana don't play that. I respect that. They don't play that. Like, but they don't be some folk in there, but it ain't nowhere like that.
Right?
Yeah, not. All they got is the Colts, Pat McAfee, and the Pacers, and now they got Caitlin Clark. But
heard she about to, bro. She's gonna turn Indiana around.
Yeah,
that's a different story for a different day, though.
Not even just Indiana, though. It's gonna be the whole WNBA. Like me, Eve, and Armand and Meals, we were trying to go hit a couple WNBA games, and we looked at the price. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? I was ready for it to be, reasonably priced. I knew she was going to be there. I didn't think it was going to be 5 times the normal price of a WNBA. No,
it's crazy. Game. It's crazy. They charging the Fat Joe seat prices for courtside. Like it's different, bro. It's different.
Yeah. Well, legit. We was like, yo, let's see how much courtside Liberty tickets is. Like, we over here think man brain, like, yeah, whatever. It's what, a couple $100, $250.
It's light. It's light.
Yeah, bro, we checked for that Indiana Fever Liberty game. $5,000, $6,000. I said, excuse me?
Cash.
$5,000. But you know what? I low key, I just got an extension on my credit card, and if I want to spend a little $5,000-$6,000 to be a courtside baddie at a Liberty game, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it.
Oh man,
I have to. You know what I'm saying?
They're calling you BBL out here? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. He said courtside.
Nah.
That's nuts.
I definitely. No, we might have to hit that Chicago Sky game though when they play the Liberty.
Oh,
that's like a
Reese,
couple games later.
And Camilla. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be. It's a lot of players in the WNBA. I know this is the wild tangent, but just to let y'all know, man, like they got dogs. Like if you get to go to like a Dallas Wings game, Arike Ogunbowale, bro, she's a killer. That preseason game, I was screaming, double her. She at the top of the key. I'm like, please send help. She, oh my God, dotted the 3 of the. I'm like, yo, but she been killing like that whole time, majority of the time. So it's like every team at least has somebody who is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, and that I feel like that's what they were missing. Like, once Sabrina got to the league, it was like, all right, now they made like a little super team with the Liberty because once they got Sabrina, they also bought in
Jonquel Jones, Brianna Stewart.
Brianna Stewart, there we go. And I'm like, oh, okay, these are a couple names that I know,
Mm-hmm.
winning championships, things like that in college. So I'm like, all right, Breonna Stewart, she's a savage. I've seen her work. But then, now I feel like, especially with this draft class, there's more names that we know because definitely last season, the women's college basketball was more notable than any men's team.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
nobody knew anybody from UConn more than just UConn, the team itself. Like, I never heard anything about Stephon Castle or anything like that. Any names from the team besides the coach and the team logo. That's all you heard about
Facts.
UConn. So, and for them to go back to back and not have any real notable players, like you got to be really into it to know anybody that is even going to be a top 5 pick in this draft. I can't name one person right now, and I'm like, you know what? We'll see. Hopefully they're good.
In
Right.
But
the NBA draft.
usually from draft
NBA,
classes
yeah.
like that, we're gonna get a couple good NBA players, but we just won't know who they are until we see like some crazy mixtape of them doing 360s in high school. But I'm definitely excited for this WNBA
Oh
season
man.
because I hope this league grows.
Yeah, same. Look, I definitely plan to hit some WNBA games, man, because the excitement has definitely grown for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been advocating for it for a minute too, but the excitement around it has grown so much that it's like, all right, like I gotta go witness this now. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
Mhm.
go see Sabrina Ionescu. I gotta go see Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese or whoever it is. So it's hard not to support it. You feel me? It's hard to stay away from that.
Facts.
My interest is peaked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But back to hoops. Real quick before we move on from the Philadelphia 76ers and the Knicks, what does Philly do, man? That's really the question I wanted to ask. What does Philly do? The process obviously has not been processing. You know, they had James Harden. James Harden decided to go, to greener pastures. Went to LA, got bounced first round. They suffered the same fate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at Philly and I'm like, man, what do y'all do? You know what I'm saying? What can they do? Tobias Harris ain't do nothing. He had 0 points in a win or go home.
Closeout game. Yeah.
Yeah. So what does Philly do from here, man?
Well, I'd say first off, they're gonna have to upgrade their backcourt. Like Kyle Lowry, top 5 most annoying players ever. You don't understand how glad I am that we did not to see that man in the game 7 because he's just his tactics, bro. Like, and I gotta give it up because he knows what he's doing, but it's just like some of that stuff ain't basketball. Some of it is just like your unk taking you in the backyard and in the on the hoop and just having trickery, using chicanery to like beat you, right? But they're gonna need somebody like if they want to keep him off the bench or a veteran presence or whatever. I think he's still gonna be valuable to them. But they gotta upgrade their wings. They gotta update their wings. I think Maxi, if Maxi is going to be your playmaker, then you need to bring him up as one because he's a
Mhm.
killer. He's a dog. He's super cold. But is he gonna run the offense? It's either you cultivate him to run the offense or you bring in a playmaker or actual point guard who could run that offense, and they're gonna need another wing because I don't think Tobias Harris is a free agent. I don't even think he want to come back, let
No.
alone would they accept him back. He's out of there. So
Mhm.
I think he's gone. That's one hole in your starting 5. Oubre's probably gonna remain. Right? I don't know what I don't have his contract details in front of me, but I would say safe to say that they would invest in him. He stepped up in the playoffs.
Mhm.
He definitely stepped up. Like I didn't know he had that in him to keep it 100. Like playoff mode, he did his thing. He was solid. He was at least someone where you could say well, I showed up to this playoff, right? Like I showed up. So I think that Tobias Harris spot, that big like a 6'8", 6'9" forward or wing, and a point guard or someone to run the offense or another playmaker. Those are going to be the 2 things that they need for sure. And they just need more. Whoever they invest in got to be mentally tough, bro. They got to be
Yeah.
mentally tough to be able to survive a lot of this stuff going on because you could see they if the Knicks could hit a free throw, this might not have been the classic series that everybody call it to be. Because
Yeah.
they tricked a lot of points off, and game 5 was the big dummy game where they just did a lot of big dummy moves and it resulted in them losing that game. They do a lot of that. Sometimes they do it in the most inopportune moments. So that's why I say they need to bring people in who are mentally tough and who want to hoop, and hoop against the narratives.
And they kind of screwed themselves over with the whole James Harden thing too, where it's like they had James Harden in, and then Daryl Morey played those games where to try to save a couple bucks on the luxury tax and things like that. He told James Harden one thing and then hit him with something else, which made James Harden want that trade and everything like that. But
right,
I don't know. Yeah, Tobias Harris, he's definitely going to a low stress city like a Sacramento or a San Antonio, something where he can play ball, do whatever he wants, and it's
Detroit,
yeah,
New
Detroit,
Orleans,
exactly.
Detroit, like.
But like you
Utah.
can't really, you can't do anything like that in Philly because Philly has championship expectations without the championship pedigree. They ain't got the rings for their fans to be the way they are in any sport really, but they still have those expectations. I know the Eagles won that chip. Even then, that was kind of like, if I call it a fluky chip, am I wrong? I don't know.
They earned that. They earned that. Like I can't say it was a fluke. They beat them boys. They beat the Pat. There's the Pats, right? They beat the Pats. They beat the Pats.
It was a tough.
They got them out of there.
Hey, listen, what Nick Foles did, coming off backing up MVP caliber Carson Wentz season, where your MVP quarterback gets injured in one of the last games of the season, and now you're just there like, I guess. It's one of those things where you're just playing because, listen, it don't even matter. Like, it's the most low pressure thing that can happen to a quarterback where win or lose, it's not your fault.
They rode away for sure. They rode away, but so did the Giants in 42 and 46. You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
That's true. Well, maybe I just hate Philly. Maybe that's
I feel you. That's valid too. It's all valid. I validate your feelings, brother.
But I kind of want to see what Philly does because Philly has the same exact problems Miami does, but just in a way where both of them, like Miami banked on Hero the same way Philly banked on Maxey, where they didn't want to get rid of these young players because they thought more. But looking back, Miami definitely should have included Hero in some of these Dame trade talks because
I think
it's not looking like
they did.
They did?
Portland just did not want to send it to Miami.
Oh, it was a spite thing. They were like,
like, Hero was definitely on the first thing smoking to Voodoo Donuts.
To Portland?
He was going to Voodoo Donuts first class, bro.
Get those bacon maple donuts right there just for him.
Now, Portland did Dame dirty. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I read that. It was like an article that came out a while ago. Like, and I don't know. I'll be wanting to blame Dame a little bit because a part of me feels like he's just complacent. Because he was like, well, they stopped talking to me, so I was just like, all right, cool, like I'll stay. I'm like, no, you don't want to stay. Like, what's wrong with you? You want to go to Miami? Let's force our way out and go to Miami. Come on. You're Dame.
He don't know how to be a diva yet. Like, even the way he asked for the trade, it was like, really? That sounds like an option. Like, oh, I guess maybe I want to go. Not really. Like, you see the way LeBron makes a trade? Like, bro, he makes it be known. He'll make a whole movie about the trade.
Bro. Not even. I remember when LeBron left Miami to go back to Cleveland. Niggas in Miami didn't even know. Like, he was just doing like diva. I don't even want to call it diva shit. I thought it was kind of cool. First, he was like, they was like, LeBron, who do you like in this NBA draft? He was like, I think Shabazz Napier's all right. Miami draft Shabazz Napier. A week later, mad moving trucks is outside LeBron crib loading Ferraris onto these trucks. A week later, LeBron's in Cleveland. I'm like, yo, this is what it's all about right here. This is how a star should move. But what are we doing? Dame over here just being mad nice. Oh yeah, Milwaukee's cool. I like it here. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Nobody has ever been like, I like Milwaukee.
Word. The top destinations in the U.S.
Word. Not even Bernie Mac and Mr. 3000 liked Milwaukee. he shitted on the whole city in that movie. I was like, makes sense.
Word. I understand. But speaking of LeBron and moving away and doing all this shit, the Lakers are no longer in the playoffs. They got bounced by the Denver Nuggets. Crazy in 6 games. Six? Was this
Five.
no 5? They got
Five,
bounced.
Five.
yeah.
Gentleman's sweep. So two things here. Darvin Ham, obviously, well, he got fired already, so the Darvin Ham problem is solved, and they got rid of his entire coach. Like they literally, they swept everybody, bro,
Yeah.
on some did a sweep shit. Like they was like, yo, you and your peoples, you're out of
Out of here.
here. They got rid of them all. And two, today I was thinking about it. I was like, I was like, I feel like this is the first time in a minute where we haven't seen like, and I'm gonna pull this clip up. Not even a clip. It's just the graphic of the second round, right? But second round is no LeBron, no Steph, no Kawhi, no
KD.
no KD, no Chris Paul, like no James Harden, and these are players in the last what 7, 8 years we've come accustomed to seeing them in playoffs every year. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? The last like 7, 8, 9 years. And now we're looking at it. It's the new guard is here, man. The new face of the leagues. Luca, Joker, Ant, Shea, Jason Tatum. I'm gonna talk about Jason Tatum in a second. D. Mitch, Tyrese, Jalen Brunson. Like, so we looking at a whole new guard of NBA stars, man, and it's kind of crazy because you never really what's the word I'm looking for? You kind of can't prepare for it. You just kind of wake up one day and it's KD's getting swept. LeBron's getting his ass handed to him by a fat Serbian. You know what I'm saying? Like,
God.
all right, like this is it. You feel me? This is what the new NBA is. You know what I'm saying? Steph ain't even make the playoffs. So it's, that's my thing. It's like, bro, what's going on? But which topics do y'all want to tackle first? The new guard of the NBA or the Lakers?
I mean, you can't have one without having the other. I feel like the Lakers are literally that was like the last hope of the old guard,
Yeah,
where they had the best run out of the old generation of players in the playoffs. And even then, like, bro, for them to win, they had to put everything into it. Where the Nuggets were still in that game. And it's there, and it's like the Lakers' problem is it's never LeBron's problem. It's always the coaching, the other players not stepping up. But then when you think about it, LeBron's the one that wanted the coach. LeBron wanted all these other role players. And it's like it's one of those things where I feel like if LeBron was on a team that wasn't constructed by him, he would be way in better positions. Because he has too many hands and too many different things happening within the organization to where you're sitting there and you're like, all right, Bron, you wanted all of this. We got you Anthony Davis a year early, traded away all of our young pieces who, looking back, it's like literally everything you needed, you guys traded away for Anthony Davis instead of just waiting, which they could have just done. And it's one of those things where I don't think there's a win. There's no championships in the Lakers vision right now. That ain't no chip going to LA anytime soon for either team in LA. And LeBron just might have to pack it up. Go to the Knicks. Now that we've seen the pitch that got leaked by Pablo Torre to LeBron when he first became a free agent.
Oh my God.
You know what? Let's go to the Knicks now. I saw the Tony Soprano pitch to him with Carmella, and I'm in. I would have signed.
Oh man, the Lakers I think led by double digits in every one of those games. And it just felt like they just weren't a good matchup for the Nuggets, or vice versa. The Nuggets weren't a good matchup for them. It just was what it was. Like there's two buzzer beater / close buzzer beater finishes in those games for the Nuggets. So it's not like they got washed. They just got beat.
yeah.
They just got beat. And To your point, Manny, about the trades, they did get a chip out of it. So they can't be mad. It's what did you sacrifice? You sacrificed everything, right? You sacrificed everything. You got your chip. So now it's on that front office to build a sustainable team around LeBron so that you could maximize his years. Because, bro, I've been thinking that he was going to slow down 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. At this point, I'm not counting it anymore. So I just say the best thing you could do as a franchise is to bring a group of young guys, young established guys around Bron so that he can use his Bron force in spurts and not have to use it over the course of 48 minutes. So I only got to be Bron for like 30% of the game. I can
10
vibe
minutes
because his vibing is better than half the league. So he can vibe out and just play regular smart basketball, conserve his energy. And then when they need him to turn it up, they need the random 40-point game. They need him to take over like it's 2016 or 2009. He can do that. He can do that, right? So that's the thing. It's like, what do you do with this roster now? What can they do? They have to look towards maybe they try to make one more big splash to make one last run at a title with Bron there, but they got their work cut out for them. You know, it's who do you keep, who do you trade? Is D'Lo the answer to get shipped out, or do you still believe in Austin Reeves? Right, like Rui Hachimura. Like, do you think he could be a stable rotation piece? Who starts? You know, you had Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt who were kind of hurt for a lot of that time, so you didn't get to see a lot of them in the postseason. But they got a lot of questions. That's why when you make those short-sighted moves for the sake of a title, you better hope you win. Because if you don't, you're screwed. Look at where the Nets are now.
Yeah.
Look at where the Suns low-key are about to be.
The Nets have an entire roster full of like starters are role players. Everybody on the Nets is a role player, bro. It's the most boring basketball to watch.
Yeah. They could be a really good college basketball team right now.
That's
if you sent them, if you put the Nets in March Madness, I don't know if they'd win, but they'd be a fun team to watch. They would be.
Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. They would kill. You know they would kill them boys.
Nah, Cam Thomas would go crazy.
Yeah, like they got a lot of good players. But it's like, what y'all gonna do, bro? What y'all gonna do?
Because when you look at like how the Nuggets are built, well, that team, they have depth in every part of that lineup where you're not worried about, if Joker comes out of the game, they're not gonna blow the lead. They might, it might be a close game, but at least he could get his rest to where he could run it back up, like what happened yesterday. Even though the Timberwolves won, but it was one of those things where the Nuggets were right there the entire time. Like even when they were losing by a good 15 to start the game, by the end of that quarter, it was like a 3-point game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers, man. I haven't got much words to say on y'all for real. I think you did the first thing that you had to do, you did, and that was get rid of Darvin Ham because no adjustments were made. When it's crunch time and you feel me, defensive schemes needed to come into play, bro's over here with his hands in his pockets, not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if you can pay Darvin Ham all that money to do that, y'all might as well just call me. You know, and I'll be glad to do it for half the price. You know what I'm saying? Every defensive scheme is LeBron. Like, AD, put your hands up. I could do that.
You could get a block, right?
Yeah, like come on, bro.
Crazy.
I could take a clipboard and break it over my. I'm like, come on, bro. Let's be for real.
Yeah, Darvin Ham looked like the dude who starts patting his pockets when the check comes at a group dinner. Like, you start massaging your pockets, like as if you rub it 3 times, a genie will pop out and pay your part of the bill. Like that's how he was looking sometimes. We had said it earlier before we began filming, but when they started calling that man Pockets in Lakers Twitter, I was like, oh, he's out of here. His time has come and gone, bruh.
Once the Arthur memes came up, it was like, all right, man. Where's Arthur just hands in his pockets?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, LeBron, he would call a play, and LeBron be like, the fuck is this? No, we doing this. And then LeBron play would work.
Yeah, every time, bro. Or It was the play where I think LeBron caused like that play to break down, and then a timeout was called, or there was like just the play died. The play got called dead, and LeBron just runs over and starts screaming at Darvin Ham, and I'm like, my brother in Christ, you can win 7 chips right now in a row, you're still getting fired. It
Oh
does
yeah,
not
it's
matter.
cooked.
Yeah. LeBron wanted that challenge. He gave Darvin Ham the death stare, bro. Like he wanted to strangle Darvin Ham, bro. I was like, damn, bro.
And he was right.
Yeah.
And he was right.
He was, man. Yo, well, I know I haven't told y'all, but I have a theory that LeBron is doing this podcast with JJ Redick so that JJ Redick can get a coaching job in the NBA. Because like they're specifically talking about X's and O's. You feel me? They say it's for the basketball savants and the high IQ basketball people. And I'm watching this podcast and I know about 25% of the shit they talking about. So I'm like, yeah. Pinch. Yeah. But I'm looking at him like, yo, JJ Redick just might get an NBA. Like, he might be a coach, bro.
Nah, this podcast is just his resume that they're building. Like,
It's probably,
ain't nobody that like me, where I'm just like, yeah, all right, let me tap in. I think Monte Ellis is an all-time great. Let me watch what they're talking about. And I'm like, what the hell is a Z Bibble Babble? And they're like, nah. And then once he does this, he's gonna fake a shimmy. I'm like, all right, Bron, go back on the barber chair. Let's talk about what you think about Travis Scott getting a Grammy. Because I am lost right now. I need the spark notes to every episode.
I mean, I like that they're offering content for basketball junkies. You know, I like that because there does need to be a balance between getting narratives off and being heavy in the numbers and in the X's and O's. Because I've gotten to the point in my fandom where I know enough about what's going on the court to get annoyed when I hear people just shout the same narratives that everybody else is shouting. And I'm like, yo, is this anecdotal, or do you know what's happening based on what you see or based on what people are saying? Because those are two different things. Do you just want to be in the conversation and have like friendly banter and a water cooler conversation over sports, or are we actually going to talk about this? Or are we just slandering? So I'm like, okay, if we just slandering, then I get it. Like, we just going to say wild shit. That's why when people say certain stuff, I'm like, all right, we just getting jokes off. This is just stand-up comedy right now. We're not really talking basketball. But if we really talking basketball, we can understand why teams run certain sets at certain times, and we'd be like, well, why the hell did you do this? Or why did you sub this guy in at this time? It's a great way to know that. And then it's also a way to say, hey, we give you this type of viewer experience, but y'all not trying to tap in. So don't complain that all the reality TV stuff is the stuff that you continue to see, because those same nerds are in the back with the spreadsheets and the analytics and all the regression models and the diagrams, and they know what viewers want. They want to argue. They want to have they want to be well equipped to argue with their friends.
Yep.
And what better way than to watch sports radio or listen to sports radio or watch sports debate TV? That way you can at least steal your points from other people and then be able to try to talk quote unquote intelligently about it.
I know Mike Francesca is never gonna watch a single episode of that. He's gonna look at the numbers, read it off on the screen, and go, and this is the problem with the league. Because he knows that he's like, yo, fam, I've been doing this for 40 years. I haven't looked at a statistic or how a play is formed or broken down. Not once. I look at it with my eyes. I go, you know what? This is the problem. It don't matter if it's true or not. But if you say it with a good enough Italian accent, it's gonna look like Bible.
Imagine Mike and the Mad Dog talking about X and O's. They think they're Vince Lombardi. I don't come to talk about that. They don't have the clutch gene.
Yes.
Like, come on, man.
If you show Mike Francesa any analytics, he might have a stroke, bro. You put statistics in front of him like this.
He'll start twitching.
You're gonna be here. What happened to the game I love?
I've been doing this for 40 years. You're gonna disrespect me by showing me statistics and analytics?
Right.
Bob Cousy, you think he looked at X's and O's? They had no playbook back then.
I wipe my ass with analytics. I'm sure you do.
Oh man.
Yo, speaking of analytics, I have zero analytics, but I do have this graphic
Yes, sir.
of the second round.
Let's analyze it.
Yeah,
Tap in, tap in.
let's break down this second round, man. We got Eastern Conference semifinals, Western Conference semifinals. Uh, let's start. Matter of fact, Let's start in the East. Do we start with the good or the bad? To me, the bad or the waste of time is going to be. Man, I'm gonna be honest. Cleveland, y'all cool. Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned y'all earlier. I equated you guys to the potato salad with the raisins in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect, but I don't want to see that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No disrespect.
I'm sorry. You feel me? Y'all look great. Donovan Mitchell, I love you. You from West I was gonna say West Nyack. You from Westchester. You know what I'm saying? You a good dude. You feel me? However, I've been watching the way the Celtics have been blowing people out. You feel me? It's been blowout after blowout. And I see the same thing in y'all's future. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that the Celtics in Cleveland will be a fun watch the way that I think Knicks and Indiana will be a fun watch. And there's also a lot of history between New York and Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the 90s and shit like that. So there's this story, you know, and we wrestling fans, storyline is everything for us. The storyline is built in right here. You feel me? That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
bro.
gonna hold you. The Knicks and Pacers, like we've seen these games throughout the entire season. We see how electric they are because Indiana's defense is to just get more offense, and New York's defense is straight up like probably some of the best defense in the league. Tom Thibodeau, bro, there's nothing that excites him more than just straight up slapping the floor, putting the hands of let's go.
Yeah.
So number one, I think I might bet the under for every single Knicks and Pacers game because that's what my heart's telling me. The Celtics in Cleveland, I can see every game being like a 12-point blowout. And maybe the Cavs get a win, maybe just one, and that's going to be a 4-point win, no more than that. But I have no faith in the Cavaliers. When you have to go to 7 games against the Magic, don't get me wrong, Magic are a good team,
No dis-
but yeah, no disrespect, they're bums. Nah, nah, but the Celtics are just that good. Where their margin of victory at this season, I think, was like 13 or something crazy like that. Where there was no close wins for them. Every win was a blowout. They knew what they were doing. They have a mission, you know. And plus, it helps the Celtics that what's his name, Joe Mazzulla. Every game is a hot seat game for him, where he needs to coach the game like he's coaching for his life. Because I know that if he messes up, if he gets bounced at any point in this playoffs, he's out of there.
Mhm.
So he has more to lose than the Cavs do.
I think Cleveland's Boston is gonna be more entertaining than a lot of people believe. It may not be close for a lot of those games. Who knows? But I do think it's gonna be entertaining. I think Spider got enough. What I saw him do against Orlando in them last 2 games makes me say I think he has enough to get a game. To get a game, at least a game from the Cavs. I didn't think either Cleveland or Orlando were going to be resistance from Boston. But then I gotta ask, well, what's their depth looking like? Because Porzingis is hurt, and Porzingis ain't playing in the second round. That's something that's big, right? And yeah, Al Horford is going to step in, but how long can they withstand that injury to where if KP is there, okay, maybe it is a little easier, but there is some daylight. The Celtics, I mean the Cavs can see some daylight there. And Donovan Mitchell in himself is a force. I don't know how his supporting cast is gonna step up because boy, game 6 it was Mitchell and vibes. It was Mitchell and vibes, bro. And he got Struz drew on what last bits of heat culture he had in his veins to hit a couple of threes in game 7. And Karis LeVert came off the bench and was killing. So he got some support there. I could see a game in Cleveland where they're able to switch the odds or they get to a close game and then Tatum and them go into Kobe system mode and don't run no offense, and then they leave the door open for the Cavs to steal one. So I could see that. I could definitely see that. Of course, biased as I might be, Indiana, New York is probably the most. Other than Denver, Minnesota is probably like, I'd say that's one of the top two most anticipated series that we're gonna see. Just because you got a Knicks team that's been defying expectations despite injuries the whole season up until now, and Indiana has been like the analytical miracle, right? Like all the stat people love Indiana, love Tyrese Halliburton. They put all their chips on it, all straight money ball. Like, yo, this is the type of offense that'll get you a championship. But I love when the analytics meets playoff basketball and the game changes, because the regular season game and the playoff game are two totally different games. They're going to have to run half court offense. They're going to have to get timely stops. They're going to have to read and respond and react to big moments. These are qualitative characteristics that may not show up on the score sheet, but do affect players because they're human. So I'm looking real forward. I don't think that's going to be an easy series, but I do think the Knicks are equipped to get the job done. They're definitely equipped to get the job done. So yeah, so like I'm definitely going to be tapped into all of the playoff series. I just want to see what Cleveland is going to do against Boston, but of course I'm tapped into New York Pacers. And to your point, this is what, out of the top 10 media markets, we got New York, Boston, and Dallas, and that's it. Everybody else is considered a smaller market. And then even then, it's like Dallas is a top 5 market, but if you asked anybody off rip, do you think Dallas is a top 5 media market? Unless they in the know, they might be like, wait, isn't it Miami? Isn't it, somewhere else? But yeah,
Even Houston.
But even like for the sake of knowing big cities, like the big city, major cities, or the most desirable destinations as we know of in sports, it's really New York and Boston that's left in these playoffs. So to your point, it's a brave new world out there. It's a brave new world. This is like, for those who wanted parity in the NBA, here you go.
Yep. And I think I speak for the NBA. I don't have any sources in the building yet in Manhattan. There's nothing more in life than they want but for the Knicks and Celtics to win these series right here. This is probably what they would want most. Like Adam Silver, he's sitting, he's like, listen, I love a good underdog in the Pacers and Cavs, but please no underdogs this round.
Bro, the NBA loves more than the NFL. Matter of fact, everybody loves it. This whole, and I feel like other leagues are latching onto this whole finish your story type mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, if you look at the Knicks, the entire season, Jalen Brunson, ultimate underdog. You feel me? Is he good? This, that, and the third. Stephen A. Smith talking about him, talking about, oh, well, I think Donovan Mitchell should have been the New York Knicks point guard. Then he's switching up. I think Tyrese Halliburton should have. I always said I wanted Tyrese Halliburton. Stephen A. I love Stephen A. But Stephen A. talking all this damn shit about she's choosing everybody but Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson has been hooping. You feel me? Balling out. Then to start the playoffs, we get Knicks versus Philly. That's already a rivalry. New York and Philly. Boom, we locked in. And if it wasn't going to be that, it was going to be Knicks in Miami. And that's another, you feel me? Then, boom, we beat Philly. Because now, you feel me? I am a Knicks fan as well. I'm brand new to the scene, you know what I'm saying? We're tribe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, boom, we beat Philly. Now we in Indiana. All right, cool. This already smoked, you feel me, from the 90s, 10 years ago when Roy Hibbert blocked Melo at the rim. You feel me? Come on. This is a new day. Now we running it back. Cool. I already see how this is going to go, though. You feel me? Knicks is coming out, I believe. I said a long time ago, Knicks is going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, Knicks in Boston, come on. In the Eastern Conference Finals, come on, dog.
Families will be fed with that series.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. Yo, what the Rock be doing this year right here?
Goosebumps. Yeah.
Goosebumps. I feel the mana flowing through my blood just talking about this series. You feel me? It has to happen. You feel me? The Knicks, honestly, and I think in the last worst take, Manny said the Knicks they don't got a cakewalk through the playoffs, and they don't. I don't think they do. But damn it, they play so hard, bro. Like that, it's like you. I'm not even worried if they got a cakewalk or not because of
Mhm.
how hard they play. You know what I'm saying? Or how they're coached. Tibbs is a tough coach, but if Tibbs is my Tibbs is a coach, well, I would run through a wall for Tibbs. To be honest, like that's the kind of coach you want to play for. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So I'm looking at this, bro, and I'm feeling good about the East. Knicks in Indiana. This is gonna be a good series, exciting basketball. It's a clip of Ric Flair that resurfaced when he was in TNA. He's like punching himself in the head, and he's like, "This is wrestling, brother. This is what it's all about." That's how I feel about Knicks versus Indiana. It's like, yo, this is basketball, brother. Like,
Right.
this is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? And then
Facts.
in the West,
This is the hoop section right here.
yeah,
This right here, I'm here for every matchup that's happening right here. Every game is just straight up ball.
we got two European snipers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got Luca, that's a damn a beast, and then Nikola Jokic, who is just a sneaky good dude. Like you watch
Walking
him,
triple double.
bro. I literally I watched Nikola Jokic play like a week ago, a week or two ago, and he makes the game look ridiculously easy. And me saying that it probably means nothing because we all know how nice he is. But I'm like, bro, I'm watching him play, and it's like he's not fast. He can't jump. He like hooks a shot, it rims out, he catches it, puts it back, it rims out again, he catches it, puts it back. I'm like, bro, that's 3 rebounds and 2 points in like and then in 10 seconds. Like this nigga's nice, you know? Uh
I
and
think his lack of athleticism helps with him though. Cause it's like, bro, you ever see somebody and you're like, yo, there's no way. Like Robinson Cano playing second base, where he ain't all these jumps or anything like that. But he could just flow. He knows where to be, how to be there, and
yeah,
what to do when he's there.
he knows
These are things Joker does when he has the ball.
yeah, man. This is it's all about knowing how to get your body going and how to move yourself and all that. And he knows. He's like, yo, I'm not an athletic dude at all, but I know how to get this behind the back pass going. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He has incredible court vision. Like he's one of the best players that I've seen. Like you feel me? Of course, we've seen the athletes. We've seen LeBron and Steph and people do this amazing shit. But watching him play is really it's something else, bro. It's magical to watch him play for real. And I love watching Ant play too, because Ant's a dog,
Yep,
Killer, bro.
through and through.
bro. Ant's play makes me want to buy some AE1s. I'm not gonna hold you. And I'm a 30-year-old man, and I'm like, yo, I think if I buy these Ant Edwards, I might be able to jump out the gym. That's how,
He got you believing.
yeah, that's how I feel about Ant Edwards' game. It's like, yo, I'm 30 years old, and I'm over here thinking, like, yo, maybe if I get him, I'm gonna have enough spring where I could do a Vince Carter dunk.
He does have probably one of the best like sneaker for basketball that has come out recently. It's him, Sabrina, and I don't even know who else. Those are my two favorite basketball shoes right now. And Kyrie he always keeps a good NBA sneaker, but I
Yeah,
haven't seen his non-Nikes yet, so I don't even know.
Peachy had some good shoes too.
Yeah, PG had some good Nikes, but yo, the way Ant Edward plays, he really like. Are you really Ant Edwards Jordan? Are we? Can we see the test real quick?
Yeah, you
Because
want to take a fraternity test?
bro, he's 21 and he's playing like he's been in the league already. Like there's no doubt in his mind that he's the best player on the court whenever he steps on the court.
It's his
And
bro.
yeah, and when they show him mic'd up and how he's talking to all his teammates who have been in the league at least like 8-10 years already, like when he's talking to Carl Anthony Towns, like, yo, fam, like, yo, this is what I need you to do and how to do it. And as long as you do that, we good. Or when he's yelling at Rudy Gobert, yo, don't foul. Just make sure we in the game and it'll be all right. Like, it's like, bro, he's 21 talking to a bunch of 30-year-olds like this. Like, with no real playoff experience besides some last year. And he's already like, in that mentality of just, I know what it's going to take to win.
Mm-hmm.
Just follow me and we're good. And he just got there a couple years ago. It's insane that this guy really got drafted where he was when so many other teams that needed him could have had him.
The Warriors passed on him.
Yeah.
Because I guess Steve Kerr didn't like his attitude or some shit like that.
Well, then they had the I think the Timberwolves had the number 1 pick that year anyway, so they couldn't.
I thought it was Wiseman that got drafted above him.
Wasn't it Minnesota, Golden State, and then Charlotte?
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why, because I was saying for a minute that Golden State should have drafted LaMelo Ball. They had a chance to draft LaMelo Ball, and they drafted James Wiseman instead. And yeah, sure, they won the title in 2022. Yeah. So it's like, whatever, fuck me, whatever. Maybe I got it wrong, but at the same time, I know looking at them now, they could have used LaMelo Ball.
Yeah. It was Edwards 1, Golden State 2, and then Charlotte 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, I was looking at some of these other picks. A lot of these teams, fire the whole scouting department. I'm looking through some of these. I'm like, all right, Knicks, you really could have had Tyrese Halliburton if you wanted to.
Could have.
But he went 12 to the Kings.
Him or Vassell.
Yep.
Or Vassell, however you say his name.
I would have even had Cole Anthony over Obi. I know Obi was like a fan favorite, but
well, the issue with Obi was he was being groomed to be the replacement for Randall, and then Randall had a Larry Bird year, and just ascended, and it was that.
And yeah, now the Knicks were like, you know what? Extension. We have a guy now.
Yep.
I'm glad you brought up Julius Randle too, because you see what they're doing without him. How do you feel about,
what, him still being on the team?
Or maybe
or saying that
I'm saying goodbye. This is obvious.
Hey, well, you got to tell me who's replacing him.
That's
because boy, you want to talk about some longing for Julius Randle to be on the Knicks team? I think that they would have smoked Philly if Randle was here. I'm talking about annihilated Philly if Randle was here. If Randle was in this Pacers series, I'm talking about chilling. Like, you could have stamped it to the conference final, just because it's that hard to have another 20-point scorer who can get you guaranteed buckets when you need it, man. And he was healthy. He was doing his thing. That's what really pissed me off. And he lost his season to a freak shoulder injury. Yeah. But I think they still have to see what this team, what this full capability of this team with all of their pieces are before they make that decision. One of the things that has hurt Randle has been the narrative around him. For whatever reason, people diminish his All-NBA and All-Star seasons like, oh, it's just because the East is weak, or whatever. It's not really. It's these are fake accolades. When it's reporters and his peers and his coaches who have a say in All-Star and in All-NBA voting, right? People who are watching this game inside and out, and who will tell you, the same people who started shifting the narrative, at least on wax, about Jalen Brunson. Because if you listen to all the national media narratives about him, especially when it was leading up to All-Star, he wouldn't have made the All-Star team if we just went by national narratives. It was the reporters and his peers who vaulted him into what should have been a starting role. But he didn't have as big of a national profile as Dame. Casual fans wanted to see Dame time as a starter, which I can't fault you. And that's how he got it there. And ever since then, you've seen Jalen Brunson building his national portfolio. He got his podcast. He's in these commercials. He's doing all these interviews. So now, and he's performing in the playoffs. So going into next year, that whole star power thing isn't going to be a problem. But I think there's also a likability factor where there are people, I guess, casual fans that just ain't feeling Julius Randle like that. As a player, as a person, whatever, not calling him a horrible person, but that's just not their cup of tea. So they try to diminish what he does on the court. You look at his stats, man, there's not too many people in the NBA putting up what he puts up. For all his flaws, because there ain't no perfect player, I need to see how they look with Julius, with OG, with Jalen Brunson, building around them with like some more key pieces for next season. I need to see that to know where they're going, because I saw them go 14-3 before the injuries.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not team get him out of here.
Okay.
I'm definitely not.
That is fair, but listen, I have also seen so many Knicks games where I see Julius Randle running the ball up the court like a point guard, and all that does is turn into a turnover. And I'm just sitting.
He comes
I'm
from
like,
pokes the ball loose.
I'm about to start screaming. I'm like, why does he even need the ball right now? Once Jalen Brunson got there should have been no reason for Julius Randle to be bringing the ball up court. And every time he does it, it's a turnover. Every single time. But listen, I like Julius Randle. I like the tenacity that he brings. He has that dog that you need when you're in New York, where he's had a bunch of lows where he didn't even let it get to him, where he just played through it. And he'll still get his 27, 8, and 4. And he's still playing. But I feel like he started cleaning those things up, where taking those unnecessary threes and bringing the ball up court didn't happen as much. And yeah, if Randle was in the playoffs for these series right here, the Pacers, you're done. It's not even a question. The 76ers, done. Not even a question. Even if they faced the Heat, would have been done. The Celtics are the only team, and now that Porzingis is gone, the Celtics series would have been – it would be a close series, but at least it would be a winnable series without a question. Like, there wouldn't be any doubts of, can the Knicks beat the Celtics? It would be, how do the Knicks beat the Celtics?
Yeah, nah, Julius, man, as much as I love Julius. I ain't going to say I like him. I do love Julius. He kind of remind me, like, he has that, like, that toughness of like a Boogie Cousins, that attitude also that's reminiscent of Boogie, and I like that. My only thing with him is sometimes I feel like what Manny said, where he's bringing the ball up the court, and he'll start to like post up a defender, and then somebody will just poke the ball loose from him, and then instead of him running back on defense, he's like. He's putting his hands up. He's getting frustrated. He's like, "Come on, bro! Like that's not what we need right now." Yep. And then you got like wild Knicks fans outside the Garden spitting on his damn pictures. They ripping it down. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now he's tight. We're tight. It's like a bad toxic relationship between us and him. You know what I'm saying? But I do, like you said, Jeff. I do want to see what this Knicks team looks like, fully healthy, with a perfectly fully healthy Julius, Jalen, and supporting cast, because I do feel like they could go far and make a deep run.
Nice. Speaking of which, we kind of violated the West. I don't remember how we got here, but we haven't picked who we think is gonna win between these Western Conference teams. Fellas, this is the most exciting part of the bracket for me. The Thunder versus the Mavericks is going to be a lot of 30-point games from a lot of different people. Shy, he's going to score 30 every game. Or SGA. I'm going to just call it that, just in case I don't know how to pronounce his name. And then you got Luka. He's going to get at least 29 a game, with Kyrie getting 25 here and there.
Kyrie might have an outburst and drop 30, 35. You never know.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. And then you got Jalen Williams, who just randomly gets real nice out of nowhere. And I'm like, damn, what have I been wrong? He's in OKC. Maybe I haven't seen some of these games.
He been doing this thing all season, man. That's like one of my favorite players. Like,
he could hoop for
killing.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe Philadelphia was never the process. Because if that's the case, the Thunder have been doing the process way better. just way more quieter in a smaller market in a state that nobody could really point out on the map if they had to.
Yeah. Who's that GM? Sam Presti?
Yeah.
Sam Presti is a phenomenal GM, bro.
He be knowing. He be knowing. But
He's a crazy.
I want to see what OKC can do with the team they have now. They have no real vets. You know, SGA is probably their most seasoned player, and even he is fairly young. Like he would be considered young in the league. So can he do it against the Mavericks? Can the Mavericks pull it out? Pause. Uh, and win this series against OKC. This is one where it's up in the air for me. I don't even know who I want to win.
I'm going with man. Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna lie. The 1 versus 5 is kind of tough because I love Luca. Luca's one of my favorite players, and I want to see Kyrie. I feel like this was like Kyrie's redemption year. You know what I'm saying? Everything that went down in Brooklyn. I'm gonna go with Dallas. I want Dallas to come out of that series because I feel like OKC, Shine them, they're young, like you said. Like y'all could come back. Y'all got time. Kyrie done been through the mud. He done got dragged through New York media. They shipped him out. You know what I'm saying? This is the quietest. Like I've heard zero Kyrie news this year. It's just been hoop and Ramadan for Kyrie. That's it. Like you know what I'm saying? So I want to see Kyrie make a deep run in the NBA playoffs because it's been a while since he's been able to do that. You know what I'm saying? The last time was what 2021 and he got hurt. Yeah, so I want to see Kyrie go far, man. Not gonna lie. And out of the Nuggets and Timberwolves, not gonna lie, I want to see the Wolves beat the Nuggets, man. I just want to see because you know why? I want to see them like. I want to see if they could stop Nikola Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all have an answer for him? Everybody's like, yo, you can't stop him. The Joker, this, that, and the third. He's impossible to stop. I want to see if they're able to put his fire out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say Timberwolves for that series, and I'm gonna say Dallas for the other.
Yeah. For me, I'm calling the Eurobasket Conference Finals, Mavericks and against the Nuggets. I think the Mavs are just on one of them runs, kind of like the last time they went to the conference finals. Like this isn't like an analytical breakdown, just like what they did to the Clippers, and they just terrorized the Clippers anyway. That's just like what it is. But I think the emergence or the reemergence of Kyrie as that playoff closer is worth at least a couple of games. I'm wondering when the youth factor is going to kick in for OKC. Maybe it is this series, maybe it's the next. But I think they also match up well with each other. Like Gafford can hold Chet. You know, for SGA and J. Will, you got Luka and Kyrie on the other side. So the question is, whose supporting cast is going to step up more? Right? Like, is Giddey going to have a big game? Is it going to be Kleba? Tim Hardaway Jr. got hurt during the series. He hurt his ankle. I don't know if he's going to be ready for this next series. So that might hurt them. But I do think these are both going to be long series, and I think they're both going to go 7, at least 6. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs and the Nuggets won. And I'm rolling with the Nuggets just because I think they've been my favorite the whole season. I think you gotta, you be the man, you gotta beat the man, right? To be the champ, you gotta beat the champ. And I haven't seen anything yet to change my mind aside from the rise of Anthony Edwards and what he's doing in these playoffs. I would not be shocked if Minnesota beats Denver. I'm just rolling with the champs because they were my pick. And they just find ways to win.
Yeah.
This is the first time I think in 2 years where they're down in a series, which is nuts, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But
I did not know that. Wow.
now we're going to see how they handle in their championship era, how they handle a different type of adversity, and we'll see. But that's what I think in the East. I'm going Dallas, Denver. In the West, I'm going Dallas, Denver, and in the East, I'm going Boston, New York.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do I'm gonna do OKC, Denver, Knicks, Celtics. But I would really like Minnesota to win just because I like the way that team's built. They can they have a team built for deep runs in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and like I feel like any team is really built to beat the Celtics besides maybe the Mavericks. Like if I had to rank all these teams against the Celtics, the Mavericks probably have the smallest chance. But I don't know, I do like Minnesota a lot. A-Rod owns the team, you know. How many
Go,
Dominicans are in ownership in the NBA, you know?
go with your heart, man.
Yeah. No, but I do like the Nuggets too. Yo, the Nuggets make really good parlay builders, all their players. I
Yo,
know when I can get Aaron Gordon 5 rebounds, MJ Michael Porter Jr. 15 points, three or two 3-pointers. You know, I love adding those legs to my parlays.
oh yeah, nah. The Michael Porter Jr. My big three: Michael Porter Jr. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 3 pointers, money every single time. You know what I'm saying? And
I
then
don't
you,
want that run to end.
I'm telling you, which because I know we're all betting guys here. Which series is gonna make us the most bread?
I think it's gonna be OKC Mavericks. I think with them picking player points,
Mm.
a lot of money is gonna be made right there. SGA is gonna get 30 every game. That has to be a lock.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, especially if you're going for overs on points. I
Hmm.
could definitely see Luca, Kyrie cashing in, or just the random players that are gonna get like 10 points and be like 20 to 1, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I like your assessment there, Manny. I like OKC Dallas from a betting perspective. I probably would even hit Celtics Cavs for random Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser props that they're gonna juice. They're not even gonna juice. They're gonna give insane odds, insane plus money,
Hmm.
and you might be able to come up if it's like a blowout and Peyton Pritchard's playing 20 minutes.
Gotta write that down. Hold on. This is good. This is really good advice because I was thinking that series would be a good role player
Yep.
points type of
Role
series.
player points. There's some dude earlier this season cashed out like 50K on Peyton Pritchard
Oh,
overs, because I guess he predicted that they were gonna smack the team and he was gonna get mad minutes and cash that shit.
oh my
Wow.
god.
Was that's gonna be a real good like you those are live bets. You feel me?
Yep.
You gotta hit those live, man. Peyton Pritchard, 25 points for like plus 320 or some shit like that. You gotta take that shit live, man. I think the money maker for me, I think is gonna be it might be Indiana and New York. Cause I'm in a betting group chat with Manny and my parlays for the Knicks, they're always off by like one leg, but it's because like somebody's like it's like Josh Hart got I have him for 10, he has 8. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always me being like, you know what? I think this person gonna go all out tonight, and they're like 2 rebounds short or some shit, but I'm always right there. So I think the money maker for me, because I'm a parlay guy. You feel me? I think if I'm able to lock in 4 good legs for Indiana and 4 good legs for the New York Knicks at about like a good plus 1,000 cooker, I think I could walk away with a nice little piece of change. You know what I'm saying? And then of course the Nuggets always that's easy bread right there. They don't disappoint.
Mad consistent every time.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think a lot of credit goes to like Joker and even Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is a very sneaky offensive playmaker for that team. When
Mhm.
Joker's on the bench, when everybody else is on the bench, Aaron Gordon usually gets a whole bunch of minutes then, and that's when he's making things happen. But he doesn't get a lot of assists because his plays are give it to somebody else who's gonna give it to the open man, and then they score. So if there was like a half assist for most of his plays, I'd be cooking.
Giving him the hockey assist.
Yeah, exactly. I need hockey assists in basketball
They need to
for
add,
real.
man. Yo, one last thing before we get out of here, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Like I mentioned before, we're all betting guys here. What is the worst L that you've taken so far in the playoffs?
Oh, that's a good question. What did I shoot? It wasn't even the playoffs. This is the freaking Kentucky Derby. I
Oh,
bet like the box on two of the three horses. I was at Sierra Leone and Forever Young. They finished second and third, and I was like, "Oh, it's lit. Did I win?" But I guess because the third horse didn't place at all, I didn't win. But I won two of the individual. It's almost like one legged on the parlay, and these were off of YOLO picks. Like
yeah.
I ain't Jackie Gleason. Like you know what I mean. I don't be at the races like checking out ponies and whatnot. But I was like, "Yo, what the hell? What the hell happened?" But I don't think. Fortunately, for the best I played, I haven't really caught like a crazy L like that. Like I haven't got hit in the head. I haven't got hit in the head something crazy. Like God bless whoever had Knicks money line for game 5. Oh, I can tell you one I heard of. Someone lost out on 17K because the Knicks didn't close out on 5.
Damn.
I would have been sick to my
Oh my
stomach,
God.
bro. Sick to
Wow.
my stomach if that happened to me.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, I did lose in the Kentucky Derby yesterday. Listen, I get caught up in big moments. Whenever like a big sporting event happens, I gotta be a
Yeah.
part of it. Gotta do some bets. When the World Cup was happening, bro, me and my boys was eating, and we didn't even know we didn't really know soccer rules, what corners were, things like that. But we was eating off that. But
Yeah.
yesterday I bet on Sierra Leone because I was like, yo, it's a good name.
Mm-hmm.
I can rock with it. That's
Same.
all that's I looked through all the names. I was like, all these names are mad goofy, but I just love that Sierra Leone name. So let me just put a little something on Sierra Leone.
Mm-hmm.
Losing by one nostril.
Yeah, I was sick.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, you cannot be serious. And then
Dog.
I was thinking about betting on, I forgot what the horse's name that won, but I was gonna bet on that horse too. But I ended up betting on
Mystic
something
Dan.
else. Mystic Dan, yeah. I ended up betting on something else that was right under Mystic Dan because I like those odds better. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, I would have been so nice with that Mystic Dan W.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
Yeah.
it was a heartbreaker for my first ever Kentucky Derby betting
Sick.
betting experience.
That nostril shit was crazy. Like I bet Sierra Leone outright, and I was like, yo, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. And
Mystic Dan.
me, I'm sitting there, I'm like, maybe the angle's off. Maybe there's another angle.
I'm trying to turn around the phone. I'm trying to.
Yo,
What
my,
an L.
my worst L this playoff series, man, comes to this was last week. Dallas Clippers.
Mm,
Paul George is on fire. He's cooking. So I'm like, you know what? Let me lock in a little live bet. I got this profit boost. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? A live little profit boost. I'm gonna throw it on Paul George, 35 points. You feel me? Throw the profit boost on there. We plus money. I'm putting like 40 on it. Cool. So I'm like, yeah, I'm walking away with a little change today. Nice. I leave the crib, go to Best Buy, come back. It's halftime. I leave the crib. Paul George has 26 points. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'm gonna leave, go get some food. You feel me? Go pick something up. By the time I come back, the 35, the money should be in my account. Like,
Right.
we're
Should
good.
have cashed you out.
Bro, I'm like, yo, it's 26? I'm like, what's 9 points? Three pointers? Come on, bro. That's a couple layups. You get fouled once you go to the line. That's light. You know what I'm saying? I come back. I leave for like 45 minutes. I come back like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He still has 26. I'm like, brother, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he finishes the game with 34 points.
Oh
And I
Now,
35. And that was, bro, that was the punch to the gut. You feel me? For me. So
and our betting group chat is very high vibes. Never really a doubt besides me in my own plays where I'm like, this shit ain't hitting. I was send that and I'll be like, yo, this shit ain't gonna hit, but here it is. And yo, we're like, yo, Eve, come on, that's a couple buckets right there. All he needs is like 3-4 buckets. He
Right.
got it. He just never got it.
Gotta
He was
believe.
right there. He ain't never get that shit. I'm like,
That's a nasty beat, man.
I bet in group chat is zero research, all vibes. It's all.
Oh.
It's all.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. But I feel you.
But I ain't gonna lie, there's stretches like it'll be like a week straight where like one of us is hot, and then everybody's like, "Yo, what's the word, bro?"
yo, Meals, you know what's going on. You know yo, you know all the right Yankee plays to do. Meanwhile, his play just hit because he was like, yo, I guess these two people are gonna get a hit.
My equivalent was we covered hockey. We cover hockey on the betting show.
Mhm.
There was a point for like a month where we were on fire, bro. Wasn't even watching the games, just going off of numbers and making picks and hitting. One day we went like 11-1 on hockey bets, bro. Hockey bets.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, man. If you lock in and you watch certain trends, hockey low key is a come up.
Yep.
My boy in Florida, yo, and this is my other group chat with my homies from high school. He was striking on hockey on like anytime goals, like, like 3-4 leg parlays for like plus 2,000, whatever it is, every day. Yo, he's hitting green slips every day in the group chat. And I'm like, damn, I'm like, bro, spread the wealth. What's good? Bro, but I'll be like, I'm a blue collar dude, so I'm doing construction work. So I'm like, bro, I can't be like checking my phone to see what the plays are.
Right,
He's
right.
putting the plays in there. And I'm like, damn. So I'm over here hating him. I'm like, damn, good shit, bro. Meanwhile, I'm like, no, this nigga ain't hitting. I'm like, this nigga ain't hating. But that's my boy though, man. I love him. Everybody needs a betting group chat with different diversity. Friends that know about hockey, friends that know about soccer, ball,
Facts.
baseball, because that's how y'all win. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You need the other group chat too, where it's just all vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna win in both of the chats, but you got to know the ones to do the research. You feel me? The ones that know ball, and even if you don't know ball, you can still put your minds together, and y'all gonna come out with something. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
Yeah, man. Also, bet safely. Be responsible if you're betting out here. You feel me?
Please.
Come on. We got to put that disclaimer out there. You know what I mean?
Listen, I almost called the number. Once I started betting on horses, I was like, the fuck do I even know about horses?
Yeah, it's like I'm about to find this hotline.
Yes. I'm like, yo, is Googling, is a Clydesdale a good horse? What is Clydesdale horse?
Yeah, they started talking about horses from Japan. I'm like, wait.
Yeah. That's what I was
that
like,
make them
I
faster?
need to bet in this shit. It's getting too late. I need to bet. They talking about horses imported. Like, I got to get on this.
But my mind, why I didn't bet on any Japanese horses, I was like, yo, do horses get jet lag?
That's crazy.
I was starting to think about that. I'm like, what the hell is it?
Horse been up all night.
Yeah, I'm like, do the Japanese horses even know what the other horses are saying?
Yo.
But nah, do the horses get jet lag is a good question, because that's something I wouldn't say it out loud, but in my head I'm like, hold on.
That's a good question. That's when you know you're deep in the analytical bag to try to figure out how to win a bet. It's like, yo, how do they fare outside of Japan?
Yeah. And then so they give you betting advice if you listen to like what the pre-show was like. They're like, yo, you might want to steer clear of any horses that are looking a little rattled when they're walking them over to the gate. So now I'm looking, I'm like, what? Who's number 17? What horse is that? I'm looking, I'm like, I saw a bunch of Puerto Rican, what are they called? The jocks. What's it called?
The jockeys?
Yeah, the jockeys. I'm like, yo, is a Puerto Rican jockey faster than the Dominican one?
Yo, that's crazy.
I'm like, all right, and what if they're from Venezuela? I'm like, all right, who eats heavier food?
All of them.
Like, yo, what's his record after a bowl of mofongo?
Exactly. I'm like, yo, it's Saturday morning. I know he had mango this morning. I know he had mango.
Oh my gosh, son.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Man. Next Kentucky Derby, I'm in there. I'm locked in.
All right. I'm in there looking like Seth Rollins. Fuck what you mean.
In the creamsicle suit?
Word. No. I need one of his fits. Like, not the I'm trying to tone it down. I need a fit. I'm in there with the Yeech sunglasses, 8-inch heels with a goldfish in them.
It's crazy. That's
Troy,
crazy.
King Troy got to lace the kid, man. Word up.
Yo, man. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. We did really good, fellas. I'm proud of this.
Yes, sir.
Yo, we great hoops. You know what I'm saying? We talk some WNBA. I feel like every episode we talk a little WNBA, but
That's good.
how can you not? You know what I'm saying? What else we talk about? The Knicks. Come on, man. Yo, also, like I said before, I'm a new Knicks fan. Kind of, sort of, not really. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So here's the deal before we leave. I've been loving the Knicks for about like 7 years now, but I just been low key with it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
feel you.
I ain't been on the timeline supporting them, but deep down in my heart, I'm like, yo, I want you niggas to win. I love y'all. I got love for y'all. But now I'm just like, you know what? I'm out the closet with it. I'm a Knicks fan, y'all. You feel me? I'm tried. You know,
Hey man, fan how you fan, bro. The support is still the same. There's a bunch of dudes from the '90s, the old heads who don't know how to use technology, who still rep the Knicks heavy, and we don't know the digital world. But when you go outside, like yo, it was beautiful. Before game 5, I seen a bunch of cats. Like no, it was before game 1. I'm uptown for a baby shower. I see the old heads all orange out. They had the orange fit on, the orange Knicks fit on. I was like, yo, you can't tell them shit. It's
Yep.
go New York, go, bro. Like they don't need to be on Twitter. They outside in real life representing. So fan how you fan and enjoy the ride, brother.
nah, that's a fact, man. Yo, Jeff, I appreciate you tapping in, joining us, being a part of this. You know what I'm saying, and talk some hoops with us.
Yes, sir.
It's always a pleasure whenever you here, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Of course. Before you get out of here, man, please let the people know where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm on YouTube. Jeff J Says YouTube channel. We talking sports, we talking betting, we talking pop culture, everything in between. Jeff J Says on all social media. Tap in with me. I'm talking wrestling too. I talk it all, just like the brothers here. So definitely, if y'all like what y'all heard today, like, comment, subscribe, do all of the call to actions on my side of the page too, and do it here first. Do it here first, like, share, and comment over here first, and then come check me out on my side. So that's what I'm doing, and you know, I feel like I'm everywhere on these digital and linear streets. So if you see me, shout me out. You like what I'm doing, and you ever want to tap in conversation, I'm here.
Yeah, definitely check out his vlogs too. He's taking you places maybe you can't get into. You know, not saying that it's not easy places to get into, but listen, if you're in Idaho, you're gonna want to see what some of these experiences are like. So definitely check out,
That's
the
crazy.
Jeff J experience
Thank
and what
you.
he gets into.
That's a fact, man. Look, like Manny said, if you're from Idaho, you might want to see what a Knicks game is like. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
You might want to experience that environment and get the feeling and feel the mana. You know what I'm saying? So tap in, bro. Tap in for real.
Yep.
Hey, man. Like I said, fellas, we did it, man. A good one in the books.
Sir.
Go New York, round 2. Yo, what you and Cass be doing with the?
Oh, the point you. That's all Kaz. That's all Kaz with the pointing finger emoji and at the team.
Yo.
That's coming for the Pacers soon. I know he gonna tee it up.
Indiana,
Big point.
Indiana, we be coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, we up out of here, man. Worst take, y'all know the vibes, man.